Planned Parenthood staff admits to supplying aborted baby parts to for-profit brokers, by Venus Upadhyaya. Epoch Times, updated, September 8, 2019, the first day of court proceedings on September 3 from Planned Parenthood's lawsuit against the Center for Medical Progress started with Planned Parenthood staffers taking the stand in San Francisco and admitting to providing fetal tissues in exchange for money, reported the CMP website. The defense team presented undercover investigation videos showing top executives and clinicians from Planned Parenthood brokering in aborted baby parts. Court proceedings are underway to decide if the defendants should face a criminal trial. Planned Parenthood abortion providers appeared under oath in court today and admitted supplying the body parts of children in the womb to for-profit brokers like StemExpress. David Daleiden, a defendant in the case and one of the key investigators who exposed the alleged dealings of Planned Parenthood, stated in a press release. Daleiden, who is also the founder of the Center for Medical Progress, CMP, a group of citizen journalists dedicated to monitoring and reporting on medical ethics and advances, is facing 14 counts of felony invasion of privacy along with fellow investigator, Sandra Merritt, according to the Federalist. Both are accused of faking as tissue procurement company Biomax in order to enter medical conferences and healthcare centers for the purpose of their investigation. The duo used pseudonames to enter the meetings of National Abortion Federation, NAF, in 2014 and 2015 to record the proceedings on video, according to the Christian Post. Doe 7, a non-physician who performed surgical abortions for Planned Parenthood Northern California, testified that she provided fetal tissue from the abortions she did at Planned Parenthood as a regular occurrence, said a summary of the court proceedings on the CMP website. When asked if she had ever heard of StemExpress, Doe 7 said she had heard of cases in which StemExpress was involved and money was exchanged. StemExpress and Planned Parenthood Northern California are both under ongoing FBI and U.S. Department of Justice investigation for selling fetal organs and tissue against the law, said CMP in the summary. Giving updates on the second day of proceedings on Twitter, the CMP shared a summary of the StemExpress Doe 12 statement. When at StemExpress Doe 12 is asked about the head of a baby being attached to the body upon tissue procurement, Doe 12 says the photos from CMP are accurate and show that the heads are sometimes attached and sometimes are not attached to other parts of body. According to StemExpress's website, it is a biotech firm that runs many stem cell collection centers, state-of-the-art cell manufacturing laboratories for research. In July, a federal judge ruled to reduce the damages asked by the Planned Parenthood lawsuit from $20 million to less than $100,000, according to a release by CMP. In a press release on January 14, 2016, when Planned Parenthood filed a civil lawsuit against CMP in San Francisco, Don Legens, the executive vice president of Planned Parenthood Federation of America said, "The people behind this fraud lied and broke the law in order to spread malicious lies about Planned Parenthood." This lawsuit exposes the elaborate, illegal conspiracy designed to block women's access to safe and legal abortion, and we filed the case to hold them accountable.
Court proceedings reveal StemExpress CEO sold fetal body parts. By Venus Upadhyaya. Epoch Times. Updated, September 10, 2019. The StemExpress CEO allegedly told a San Francisco courtroom on September 5 that the company brokered beating fetal hearts and intact fetal heads to medical researchers. The admission happened during the third-day court proceedings of Planned Parenthood's lawsuit against investigators, David Daleiden and Sandra Merritt, who did an undercover operation that confirmed that top executives and clinicians from Planned Parenthood are brokering aborted baby parts. Daleiden and Merritt are the defendants in the case and are the key investigators who had exposed the alleged dealings of Planned Parenthood and StemExpress. The duo represents the Center for Medical Progress, CAMP, a group of citizen journalists dedicated to monitoring and reporting on medical ethics and advances. They are facing 14 counts of felony invasion of privacy, reported conservative magazine The Federalist. Both are accused of posing as representatives of the tissue procurement company Biomax in order to enter medical conferences and healthcare centers for the purpose of their investigation. The duo used pseudonames to enter the meetings of National Abortion Federation (NAF) in 2014 and 2015 to record the proceedings on video, according to the Christian Post. Before founding StemExpress, Doe 12 was a tissue procurement technician for Advanced Bioscience Resources, responsible for collecting and harvesting baby body parts from Planned Parenthood. In her sworn testimony, Doe 12 admitted that when a fetal brain is able to be harvested, it is because the baby's head may still be attached to the body after being pulled out of the womb. When confronted with her statements on undercover video about shipping intact cases, she also did not deny that StemExpress harvests and transfers unborn children from completely intact abortions, said CAMP's summary of the third-day trial proceedings released on Saturday. The Center for Medical Progress confirmed in an email to the Epoch Times that Doe 12 is the StemExpress CEO. After CAMP released the StemExpress videos in 2015, StemExpress publicly denied their authenticity to the public and to Congress. But under oath on the witness stand, Doe 12 testified that the documents shown in CAMP videos are authentic StemExpress documents, said CAMP's summary of third day's proceedings. After the first day proceedings on Tuesday, Daleiden had said in a statement, Planned Parenthood abortion providers appeared under oath in court today and admitted supplying the body parts of children in the womb to for-profit brokers like StemExpress. Camp had earlier accused StemExpress of violating FedEx policies in a video released on November 28, 2017. In a new video, a whistleblower from the fetal tissue wholesaler StemExpress tells how the company shipped body parts from Planned Parenthood abortions in knowing violation of FedEx policies, Camp said. Peter Breen of the Thomas More Society, who is representing Daleiden at the court, told LifeSite News that StemExpress CEO's admission is gruesome. If you have a fetus with an intact head and an intact body, and intact extremities, that is something that would indicate that child was born alive, and then had their organs cut out of them, or that that child was the victim of an illegal partial birth abortion, he said. Both of these are gruesome and violent acts, Breen said. The Thomas More Society didn't immediately reply to the Epoch Times' request for comment. StemExpress and Planned Parenthood Northern California are currently the subject of investigations by the FBI and Department of Justice for selling fetal organs and tissue against the law, Camp said in a summary.
The guy behind the counter kind of is looking at her funny, and she goes, I want to ship this here, and he looks at her and says, what's in the package? She goes, does it matter? He's like, yeah, because I know what's in that package. I'm not shipping it.
So at StemExpress, you could only procure from fetuses who had been alive right before the abortion.
Yes. With the shipping, we'd have our supplies in a certain part of the room. We'd have our StemExpress tape and our little boxes and our ice packs, and come to find out, you're not supposed to ship body parts.
Via FedEx, right?
Yeah,
you guys ship it via FedEx.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we would drive and we would drop them off at like a drop site. And I remember one time, this was towards the end of when I was working, I was at the Alameda with Jessica, and we agreed to go drop off some of the specimens. And the guy, for some reason, she was acting kind of weird because we both went in to go drop it off. And the guy behind the counter kind of is looking at her funny, and she goes, I want to ship this here, and he looks at her and says, what's in the package? She goes, does it matter? He's like, yeah, because I know what's in that package. I'm not shipping it. And it's like wow. She probably told him or something, like they had a past, or he'd found out somehow what was in the package, and he refused to ship it. So she got upset, and we went outside and said, why wouldn't he ship the package? She's like, oh, because he knows what's in here. You're technically not supposed to ship body parts.
Jessica said that.
Yeah, and she said, I got to go all the way across town to a different FedEx and drop this off. I'm like, I asked her, I wanted to go home at that time. I live in Sacramento. I was going to drive home from San Jose. I'm like, do I really need to go with you? She's like, no, I'm just going to take it over to, the hub or the drop-off site across town. You can just go home. And I thought, I'm like, I didn't know that you weren't allowed to ship things like that. I guess you can't. Some of the tissues we weren't able to procure because they were already dead tissues. So let's say a woman comes in for a medication abortion, and sometimes it doesn't work. And when it doesn't work, the baby will, it's kind of hard to describe. It'll die, and at the reaspiration is when they go in and they have to suction the remains out. And NFT, no fetal heart tones, we can't use that. It's technically dead tissue.
Right.
So we also had to communicate that with the medical assistants. There were a couple times to where I'd have a specimen that I was waiting to come out, and I'd go and did the path lab, and the medical assistant would say, you can't use this one. This is a, NFT.
An NFT is no fetal heart tones. So at StemExpress, you could only procure from fetuses who had been alive right before the abortion.
Yes.